When it comes to choosing between North and South Austin, there's a lot of things to consider. Both areas are unique in their own way, and both areas can offer you different things. In this video, I'm going to be talking about some of those differences and touch on some of the similarities because there are some of those as well. If you want to know more, stay tuned. Welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel living in Austin, Texas. My name is Jay with the High Ground Realty Group, and I am a licensed agent here in the state of Texas. I love making these videos for you guys, but I would love more is if you reach out to me, give me a call, text, email, nights, days, weekends. I'd love to help you with any and all of your real estate needs. With that being said, let's get into it. Before we dive into specific details on the north and the south areas of Austin, I want to say this first. Both of these areas have a different feel to them. If you're moving to Austin and you're trying to figure out, is the north for me, is the south for me, you really got to go check them out. You got to go drive around, go eat at some of the restaurants, hang out at some of the parks, go enjoy some of the everyday activities that you can get with everyday life, and see what gives you a better feel. They just have a different vibe, a different feel, and it's really going to come down to your personal taste unless you're moving here for, say, a specific job. A lot of the big tech companies are in North Austin. If you come out here and you're going to be working for Apple or Dell or Samsung or one of these big tech companies, you might want to take a look at North Austin first because it's going to cut down on some of your commute times. Keep in mind, with all the growth Austin has been having, the traffic has gotten horrible at times. And other times it does get lighter, and it'll depend on your work schedule and what time you're going to be out driving to work and driving home from work. But just know that the traffic has become increasingly worse. One of the things you're going to notice when you're driving around in North Austin is that it tends to have a more suburban, family, community type feel to it. You'll find that there's lots of opportunities to move out of the city, get out of Austin, go north of Austin, and it's going to be a lot more low key, a lot more relaxed, a lot more kind of easygoing in a way. Now, there are certain areas where things are up and going, and you're going to find that as well. So don't worry if that's what you're after. You do have those opportunities as well. So if you're moving north of Austin or into North Austin, one of the things you're going to have to consider is the home pricing. Things are a little bit more expensive north of Austin. Now, keep in mind that with all the tech companies and everything else going on in North Austin, all the growth, a lot more people are being drawn to the area. So naturally, when that starts to happen, the inventory levels of homes starts to struggle to keep up with the growth, one, and two, it drives the prices up. So when you're coming into North Austin, just expect to have a little bit higher price tag on the homes and the properties as well. North and South Austin are different in the fact that when you're going north, there's a lot more room to expand. From the south side, you're a lot closer to San Antonio than, say, you are to the next major area would be, I'd say, Dallas. From Austin to Dallas, there's just a lot more room in between there, so there's a lot more room for growth and expansion. And that's probably one of the biggest reasons why you're seeing so much more growth on the north side. The other draw to the north side of Austin is the school districts. They tend to have really high ratings, and there's several of them. So if you can't find one that fits your needs, let me know. I'll direct you. I actually suggest you go to niche.com or greatschools.org and take a look and read some of the reviews. But some of the schools are known for things like sports. If you're into football, your kids are playing football and that kind of thing, there's certain schools that stand out year after year after year, and they go really deep into the playoffs every season. So it's just one of those things to consider is the schools people are drawn to in North Austin, and it's also the location as far as where they're working. Now, if you're going to be working in South Austin, moving down to the south, there's a lot of opportunities for homes that are a little bit more affordable. I mean, it's the opposite, right? A lot more affordable. There's quite a few new communities down south as well, just not as many as the north. So it really comes down to your tastes. So when you get into South Austin, you're going to see, it sounds opposite of what I was just saying, but there's a lot more land because it hasn't been fully developed yet. The difference is when it is developed, there's not as much room. I think I kind of explained that earlier. You guys already know what I'm talking about, so I'm not going to dive into that too much more. But South Austin gives you an opportunity to get a more affordable home. Things cost a little bit less. Distance-wise, you're closer to Austin and downtown area. Now, there are times, again, where traffic can make that commute time double, where it shouldn't be taking you as long as it is. And you do hear people talk about that from time to time, but just know that distance-wise, it is closer. You're closer to the airport, so if you're traveling, if you have the kind of job where you're having to go fly out and meetings all over the place, the Austin airport's a lot closer to South Austin. The other thing to consider is you're kind of closer to hill country in a way. So if you go a little bit kind of southwest of Austin, you start getting into the hill country. You've got Wimberley down there, you got Dripping Springs, you keep going, Canyon Lake is southwest. Just a lot of pretty area. That's one of the big draws for people moving down into that area, is just the natural beauty that it has. It's just, you gotta see it to really, really appreciate it. Now, that's not to say that there's not natural beauty in the north. The north just tends to be filling in more and more with communities and development and big businesses and buildings, and you guys get where I'm going with this, you can tell. So if you guys have seen some of the other videos with Wayne, Wayne lives in the south and I live in the north, and we always have this conversation about which is better. If you ask Wayne, he'll tell you south all the way, man. Go down to San Antonio, it's like less than an hour, maybe an hour away. You got San Marcos down there. You got New Braunfels down there. He likes to go float the river. That's all close by. Not to say you can't do those things coming from the north. You're just adding a little bit more distance and in some cases a lot more traffic to get there. But me personally, I like the north. I like the northwest area of Austin. I like the rocky, hilly trees. I like that terrain. It's got a great feel, and it draws me to that area. When you get to the east side and southeast, and even in the north, when you start getting east, it gets a little bit more flat. It's more farm-like. You start getting into that clay soil. So if you're building a house out there, you want to make sure you double up that foundation, because that clay, it's expansive clay soil, so when it gets wet, it changes, right? So you want to make sure your foundation is beefed up enough to where it's not going to affect your home. Ask Wayne about the south. He's going to tell you it's where it's at, man. I mean, to sum it up, he tells you the south is where it's at. I like some parts of the south side of Austin. When you get into the south side of Austin, it tends to be more artsy, music. I mean, you think about some of the things in Austin, like Stubbs, live music. A lot of that's in the south. It's considered South Austin. So if you guys are after that scene, south is the way to go. If you're looking for that more affordable home, check out the south. If you're going to be working in one of the big tech industry companies, check out the north, man. If you guys are come into the north side of Austin, I disagree with Wayne on that one, man. I think north is where it's at personally. If you can get a little west, I think it gets a little better. When you drive around the neighborhoods in South Austin and south of Austin, and you drive around the neighborhoods north and north of Austin, you're going to notice a couple differences as far as like the outdoor activities. North Austin tends to have a lot more parks. You go into each of the cities in north of Austin, and you're going to find parks in every single one of them. Some of them are huge. South Austin has some too. I'm not saying there's no parks in South Austin, but north tends to be kind of more suburban, family-like feel. So naturally, when you have that, you're gonna get the parks and stuff like that that come with it. South Austin is kind of known for its eclectic live music vibe, lots of live music venues, and trendy shops and restaurants. You do have live music and stuff like that in North Austin as well, but South Austin is known for it. So if that's your number one draw to Austin, definitely check that out. In all fairness to the south, and Wayne would be happy that I brought this up, there are some nice areas outdoors for hike and bike trails. You got Barton Creek, you've got Barton Springs Pool. A lot of those areas are definitely designed for the outdoors, and you got some green spaces and things like that scattered throughout the city. So it's not like it doesn't have it. I just notice it more when I'm driving around the north. It just feels like there's a lot more of it. Like, oh, there's another park. Oh, there's another park. And it's just like, it stands out in my mind. One advantage to living in the north as far as transportation is concerned, you tend to have access to a lot more major thoroughfares. You got IH-35, you got 183, you've got MOPAC, and those alone can get you all around Austin, which could make your drive and your commutes a little bit better, having access to those major roads. You do have I-35 goes all the way from Canada to Mexico, so that does run through south as well. But just know that, and 290's south-ish, it's south. But up north, there tends to be a little bit more infrastructure as far as the roads are concerned. When it comes down to choosing between North and South Austin, you're really going to have to come drive them. You're really going to have to come see them, because they're all going to have their own unique feel and their own character. Austin is very good about having diverse communities, and you can really feel it when you drive into each of them. But let's break this down. Let's talk about the north advantages. The tech industry is there. More roadways, major roadways to get around easier. More growth. If you're into growth, north is where it's at. The schools, really high rated, really sought after in a lot of cases. If you've got kids or you're thinking about starting a family, the north might be an advantage there. Let's break down the south. So if you're moving and you don't necessarily have to commute from to one of those big tech companies, south is a great place for a more affordable home. A little bit closer proximity to downtown. If you're into downtown and you like that live music scene and you like the trendy type stuff, south is a great place to go. If you have any desire to be visiting San Antonio a lot, again, south is where it's at. Proximity to San Antonio and downtown, you're in that area. If you like to spend a lot of time in the hill country, you're going to shave a little bit of drive time off getting out there, living in the south. Another advantage to the south is the growth hasn't been as explosive there, so there's a lot more land you can pick up. When you're trying to pick up land in the north, a lot of times you have to look and check with the county plans to see if there's going to be a major road going through there, see what's planned for the future. You don't run into that as much on the south side of Austin. The good news about all this is that Austin has something for everybody. So whether it's the north, the south, even the southeast or northeast, whatever it is, it's got something for everybody. If you guys are looking to move to the area, give us a call, text, email, nights, days, weekends. You can call us up, reach out to us, tell us what you're looking for, tell us a couple things, and we'll get you pointed in the right direction. Lots of options to choose from. Makes it kind of difficult when you're moving out here. We always suggest that you come out, kind of do an exploration trip, check out the different areas, see which ones vibe with you the best, see which one you like, where can you picture living? That's what it comes down to, right? Once you do that, we'll help you find your house. Again, call, text, email, nights, days, weekends. We'd love to hear from you guys. Please subscribe to the channel, tap the little notification bell so you'll be notified when we release future videos. Smash the thumbs up button for me. Remember, we got your back when you're moving to Austin, Texas. Until the next time, I'll catch you later.